Here's the uncomfortable truth. Attraction is easy. Attention is everywhere. But being chosen, consistently, deeply, without confusion, is rare. Because a man does not commit based on what he feels in the moment. He commits based on what you activate inside his identity. There are women he desires, women he entertains, and then there is the woman he cannot afford to lose. The difference between them is not beauty, not luck, not even effort. It is psychology. In this video, you will understand why some women are pursued, but never chosen. The hidden mental triggers that shift a man from attraction to commitment, and how your presence alone can either elevate his desire or quietly push him away. By the end of this video, you won't just understand men better. You will understand the silent rules that decide who gets chosen and who gets left behind. Stay until the end, because what you're about to hear may change the way you see yourself and every relationship after this. Before we dive in, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. There is a moment, subtle, almost invisible, where a man stops seeing a woman as an option and starts seeing her as a decision. Most people miss that moment. They think attraction is enough. They think chemistry will carry everything forward. But the truth is, attraction can exist for months, even years, without ever turning into commitment. So what changes? It begins with something deeper than emotion, something quieter than words, something the brain processes before logic even steps in. A man is not only reacting to how you look or how you speak, he is responding to how he feels about himself in your presence. And this is where everything shifts, because the human brain is wired for consistency. It constantly tries to protect and reinforce the identity a person believes about themselves, or the identity they are trying to grow into. When a man is around a woman who subtly aligns with his higher version, something powerful happens. He feels more focused, more in control, more like the man he respects. And without realizing it, his brain starts linking her presence to that elevated state. This is not poetry. This is neuroscience. Research published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology shows that people are naturally drawn to relationships that reinforce their ideal self, not just their current reality. In other words, we don't just fall for people, we fall for who we become around them. Now pause here for a second. This explains why two women can show the same level of interest, the same kindness, the same effort, yet one becomes unforgettable, and the other becomes replaceable. It's not about what they give, it's about what they activate. And here comes the part most people overlook. If your presence feels like pressure, even unintentionally, the brain does not interpret that as love. It interprets it as a cost. And the brain is extremely sensitive to emotional cost. There's a small structure deep inside the brain called the amygdala. Its job is simple: detect threat and protect. Not just physical threat, emotional unpredictability, tension, pressure, all of it is processed the same way. When interactions feel heavy, inconsistent, or overwhelming, the amygdala becomes more active. And when that happens, long-term thinking shuts down. This is not an opinion. Studies from Harvard University have shown that when the brain perceives emotional stress, it prioritizes short-term safety over long-term planning, which means, even if he likes you, even if he is attracted, even if part of him sees potential, he will pull back. Not because he doesn't care, but because his system is trying to protect him. Now here is where it becomes more refined. The woman who is chosen is not the one who has no needs, and not the one who suppresses herself. She is the one whose emotional world feels clear, grounded, and stable. Her standards are not hidden, but they are not thrown as pressure. Her expectations are present, but they are not delivered with urgency or fear. There is a calm confidence in the way she exists, And that calmness does something extraordinary. It regulates the entire dynamic. Because emotional states are contagious. When you are internally stable, you create an environment where he feels safe to expand, not contract. And when a man feels safe, not judged, not rushed, not controlled, he doesn't withdraw. He invests. Now there is another layer, even deeper, and often misunderstood. The idea that the woman who cares less wins. On the surface, it sounds cold, but in reality, it has nothing to do with indifference. It has everything to do with emotional independence. There is a difference between wanting someone and needing them to validate your emotional state. When your mood, your peace, your sense of worth becomes tied to his behavior, he feels it, even if you never say a word. And what he feels is not love. He feels responsibility. And responsibility, before commitment is freely chosen, feels heavy. But when you are genuinely okay, with or without him, something shifts. Your energy becomes lighter. Your presence becomes more attractive. Your attention becomes valuable, not automatic. Because now, you are not trying to secure him. You are simply experiencing him. And this is where the paradox appears. The less you are attached to the outcome, the more naturally things begin to move in your favor, not because you are playing a role, but because you are no longer operating from fear. And the brain always responds differently to someone who is not driven by fear. It registers them as high value, self-contained, non-dependent. And value that is not guaranteed is always treated with more care. Now, bring all of this together. A man chooses a woman not only because he is drawn to her, but because she reflects his higher identity. She does not overwhelm his emotional system. She does not create pressure before connection, and she exists with a quiet certainty that does not demand, but naturally commands respect. This is not manipulation. This is alignment. And once that alignment happens, commitment stops feeling like a risk. It starts feeling like the most natural step forward. Because in the end, a man does not stay where he feels forced. He stays where he feels expanded, understood, and at peace with who he is becoming. And the woman who understands this never has to chase. She is simply chosen. Right now, look at the screen. The answer you've been missing is about to appear. Why do some women get everything effortlessly, while others keep struggling? Watch closely. This might change how you see everything. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.